Welcome back, everyone. Another day, another gift from God, and may we respond to that gift by pursuing Him in His Word. So we're on Judges chapter 14 today, carrying on in the life of Samson. Verse 1. Then Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah, one of the daughters of the Philistines. So he came back and told his father and mother, I saw a woman in Timnah, one of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore, get her for me as a wife. And as we all likely know, Samson had issues with the ladies. Verse 3. Then his father and his mother said to him, Is there no woman among the daughters of your relatives, or among all our people, that you go to take a wife from the uncircumcised Philistines? But Samson said to his father, Get her for me, for she looks good to me. However, his father and mother did not know that it was of the Lord, for he was seeking an occasion against the Philistines. Now at that time the Philistines were ruling over Israel. So believe it or not, the Philistines were not among the 7 nations of Canaan, which Israel was specifically forbidden to marry. But nonetheless, Samson's decision was still a poor one. Hadn't he ever heard that there was more to a woman than her looks? Samson does sin here, but God is sovereign and is able to turn the situation to please himself. God uses the situation to work against the wicked Philistines and provide help to the Israelites. Verse 5. Then Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother, and came as far as the vineyards of Timnah. And behold, a young lion came roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him mightily, so that he tore him as one tears a young goat, though he had nothing in his hand. But he did not tell his father or mother what he had done. And supernatural ability from God is an awesome thing. Verse 7. So he went down and talked to the woman, and she looked good to Samson. And I have a guilty confession that I envisioned Samson singing Michael Jackson's The Way You Make Me Feel to this gal. I don't know why, that just pops into my mind. Verse 8. When he returned later to take her, he turned aside to look at the carcass of the lion, and behold, a swarm of bees and honey were in the body of the lion. So he scraped the honey into his hands and went on, eating as he went. When he came to his father and mother, he gave some to them, and they ate it. But he did not tell them that he had scraped the honey out of the body of the lion. Scholars think that this may have been a violation of the Nazirite vow, and that he came in contact with death, which along with his poor choice of marriage would have been another sin factoring into his future. Verse 10. Then his father went down to the woman, and Samson made a feast there, for the young men customarily did this. When they saw him, they brought 30 companions to be with him. This was the wedding feast that typically lasted about a week in this culture. Then Samson said to them, referring to the Philistine companions, Let me now propound a riddle to you. If you will indeed tell it to me within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 linen wraps and 30 changes of clothes. But if you are unable to tell me, then you shall give me 30 linen wraps and 30 changes of clothes. And they said to him, Propound your riddle, that we may hear it. So he said to them, Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet. But they could not tell the riddle in 3 days. Samson's riddle was about his interaction with the lion carcass, and to, from the human perspective, it would seem pretty lame. Like, why would you share this story with us that we would have no idea about? But again, all part of God's plan. Then it came about on the 4th day that they said to Samson's wife, Entice your husband so that he will tell us the riddle, or we will burn you and your father's house with fire. Have you invited us to impoverish us? Is this not so? And quite the wedding guest here, but again, Samson's the one who picked this Philistine woman. Marriage is a package deal, and the family and the friends come with it. Verse 16. Samson's wife wept before him and said, You only hate me, and you do not love me. You have propounded a riddle to the sons of my people, and have not told it to me. And he said to her, Behold, I have not told it to my father or mother. So should I tell you? However, she wept before him 7 days while their feast lasted. And on the 7th day he told her because she pressed him so hard. She then told the riddle to the sons of her people. So the men of the city said to him on the seventh day before the sun went down, "What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion?" And he, Samson, said to them, "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have found out my riddle." And yes, he just poetically called his wife a heifer because of her untamed and stubborn spirit. Samson is getting a little taste of his own medicine or honey. Verse 19, "Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, Samson, mightily, and he went down to Ashkelon and killed 30 of them and took their spoil and gave the changes of clothes to those who told the riddle. And his anger burned, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companion who had been his friend." So killing these 30 people in Ashkelon had to do with the bet that he made back in verse 12, if you want to look at that. God overruled Samson's foolishness, and boy was there a lot of it, by enabling the power of the Spirit of the Lord to accomplish his purpose of disrupting the Philistines' easy dominance over Israel. But still angry, Samson went up to his father's house without returning to his wife on the 7th night of the wedding, which was custom to consummate the marriage. The bride's father, in turn, gave her to the best man. And I think there's a lot of Philistine relatives that might be on Jerry Springer. I'm telling you, crazy, crazy stuff. Hope you can join me tomorrow, and we'll find out what happens to Samson and the Philistines. God bless you.